Collecting comic books can be a very rewarding experience for just about anyone. From superheroes to humor comics, mystery and suspense to pure horror, a comic book can take you from the real world to a world of fantasy. One of my favorite comics is Swamp Thing #1, published in 1972 by DC Comics. Writer Len Wein and artist Bernie Wrightson combined talents to deliver an all-time classic. This outstanding mint-condition copy would fall into the category of a pedigree original owner file copy, a rare item indeed. Serious collectors usually prefer their comic books to be in the best condition possible. A perfect comic book would be graded as being in mint condition. However, most collectors and professional dealers know that most comic books published prior to 1964 are rarely found in mint condition. This particular example of the Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1 from 1964 would grade no higher than fine due to a corner crease at the bottom left corner and some edge wear on the spine and edges. However, it is still a rare comic due to its white cover, which often exhibits fingerprints and smudge marks. In this particular case, Sergeant Rock number 307 from August 1977, this comic book has been handled and read probably by kids, and it's torn and ripped from the cover. This would never be considered an investment grade comic book. This would always fall into the category of a reader copy and would never retain any value beyond a reading copy. The Certified Guarantee Company, LLC, known as CGC, has radically changed the comic book collecting field. CGC is an impartial third-party grading service which assigns an unbiased grade to any comic book a collector would submit to them. Alright, Flaming Carrot Comics #2, published in 1984 by artist and writer Bob Burden. This outstanding example is graded at 9.4 by CGC. This example is probably the highest graded copy in existence. This was a low print comic book, probably in the range of 2,000 copies, and you just don't see them anymore. It's got a solid black cover, and again, this cover would show a lot of fingerprints, and this one was more than likely never handled by anyone, purchased and filed away. There are many collectors that do that. They buy the comics, they don't even read them, they put them away. However, over the years, they've been taken out by hurricanes, storms, floods, earthquakes, tornadoes, you name it, natural disasters, broken marriages, wives throwing the comic book collection down the stairs because caught the husband fooling around at the corner bar. God knows what could have possibly happened. All True Crime, January 1952. Crime comics published in the 1940s and 50s were so violent that the United States Senate had subcommittee hearings regarding horror and crime comics. And the Comics Code Authority was established to make sure that this type of material no longer appeared on American newsstands and sold to children. And virtually overnight, the entire comic community was almost wiped out. Very few comics survived that purge of 1954. In 1964, a new type of comic book appeared in America, the underground comic. First published by Jack Jackson and followed by Joel Beck, Robert Crumb, and Gilbert Shelton, the underground comics took freedom of the press to a whole new level. They completely ignored the Comics Code Authority. The legacy of the underground comics, which were published without the Comics Code approval, is that today, 45 years after they first appeared, virtually no comic published in the United States today bears this stamp of censorship. This comic book right here, the San Francisco comic book, #5, today is amongst one of the rarest undergrounds, as most undergrounds are. They were printed in short runs, and today you're lucky to find any copies whatsoever. I hope you enjoyed this short stroll through the world of comic book collecting. Whether you have a spare 25 cents or a spare $1 million, a wondrous world of amazing fantasies await you at your local comic book shop.